This is the practice exercises for Chapter 8. Using the files in the Chapter 8 practice exercise folder, complete the following exercises to reinforce the concepts taught in this chapter. Refer back to the instructions in the chapter if needed. Be sure each report matches the check figures that we have provided. If it does not, you will need to make corrections before submitting the reports to your instructor. If you run into any issues, reach out to your instructor for assistance. So to start, we're going to open some Excel spreadsheets with information. So we're going to go down to our File Explorer. We're going to navigate to our home drive, QuickBooks Online. We are in Chapter 8. And the file we want from here is Chapter 8 Practice Exercise Create Sales Receipt. So I'm going to double click to open this in Excel. So this has 5 sales receipts that we're going to enter into our QuickBooks company. So we are going to have to do a lot of flipping back and forth. So let's flip back to our QuickBooks. We're going to go to Create. And under our Customers heading, we're going to select Sales Receipt. I need to scroll to the left. My first one is Astro Jetson. This is Texas property. Make sure you don't skip any of the fields. We have Houston, 1-bedroom plus loft. And this is five days. We'll add that to our description and our quantity. Going forward, I think we're just going to leave our enter date as whatever day you're doing this on. Don't worry about entering that because honestly, it's so far back in the past that it will end up kind of confusing us with our financial records totals. So just leave the date as today. Double check that your amount is $625. The payment method is going to be credit card. And then lastly, the reference number 12345. We're going to hit the drop down arrow next to record and close and hit record and new. So that will save that and give us a new sales receipt form. Our guest for our next sales receipt is going to be Elroy Jetson. Texas property and Dallas 1-bedroom. Then we have 5 days with a credit card. So that gives us an amount of $500, and our reference number is 6789. $500, reference number 6789. And we can record and new. Next, we have George Jetson, California property. That's going to be Venice Beach, 1 bedroom for 10 days. So we should have an amount of $2,500, which we do. Credit card, reference number 10112. And record and new. Next, we have Jane Jetson, Texas property. Houston house for 10 days. So we should have an amount of $3,750, which we do. Credit card 13145. Record and new. And lastly, Judy Jetson, Texas property. We have Dallas house for 7 days. That gives us an amount of $2,800, which is correct. And credit card 16178. And this is our last one, so we can record and close. And we're done with our sales receipt list, so we can close this Excel sheet out. Number 2, run a sales by guest detail report and make the following changes. Add the reference number column, add the payment method column, and report period all dates. So we're going to go to our reports center. If you ever get a delay like this, it loaded now, but just hit your home button again and then go back to where you were trying. All right, what are we looking for? Sales by guest detail report. And be very careful with these reports, because look how similar just a few of these are. Sales by guest type detail, sales by guest summary, sales by guest detail. So a lot of these have very similar names. So make sure that you're running the correct report. So we want sales by guest detail report, which is located here. And we want to add our reference number column and our payment method column. So we're going to click on our Customize button and just scroll down and open up the columns drop down. And then down at the bottom are the ones that aren't added to the report yet. And we're going to add reference number and also payment method. And then you can close out your Customize pane. And the report period, this isn't going to affect us because all ours will have today's date, but you can click all dates so you can customize your date range up there. If you scroll down, your total should be $36,125. If your report does not match this total, you're going to have to review your invoices and sales receipts that you entered here. Once the report matches the check figure, export the report as a PDF and save it to your computer. You don't have to email it to me. Just hit your export button, export to PDF, your Save as PDF button at the bottom. And when this pops up, you're just going to click on it. You want to download, and you want to save it to your Chapter 8 folder. So make sure you're in your Home Drive QuickBooks Online folder. Open up Chapter 8, and you're naming this. They didn't specify a name, so the default that came up, sales by guest detail, you can save that as. You can see I already have one because I have done this multiple times, but just go ahead and save that to your home drive. You don't have to email it to me. I will have access to your home drives. All right, once that's done, you can close out and return to your QuickBooks. Next, number 3, we're going to open the Chapter 8 practice exercise receive customer payments file to our computer. And using the data in the spreadsheet, we're going to record the customer payments in QuickBooks. So let's return home. We're going to go down to our File Explorer. And in our Chapter 8 folder, this time we want to open the customer payments spreadsheet. So here we have 6 payments made by our customers, and we're going to enter these into QuickBooks. So on our QuickBooks screen, we're going to go to Create, and under Customers, we're going to select Receive Payment. All right, our first guest is Astro Jetson. And you can see Astro has 2 open invoices, 1003 and 1004. So if we switch back to our spreadsheet, this first one is going to be for the Austin 1-bedroom plus loft in Texas. Just going to check and see. Yes, that's the first one. All right. Astro. We're going to go... We have check number 9876. The amount is $700. Oh, sorry, the payment method was credit card. Let me change that. And the payment amount was $700. And then you can see it automatically checks that off for us. So this invoice number 1003 will be paid in full. We can record that. Record and new, because we will be entering another payment for Astro. We'll go ahead and select him from our drop down again. Oh, shoot, I think this payment method was for the deposit. I'll have to go back and change that. The next one is going to be a payment of $12.50, check 5432. $12.50. And you can see invoice number 1004 will be paid in full. We can go ahead, record and new. Our next guest is Elroy for $1,000. Elroy has one invoice open right now. It's going to be paid by check, and the reference number is 2345. Record and new. Next, we have no payment from George Jetson, so we don't have to record that. Then they have listed Jane with $3,000 payment. Payment of check. And 8765 is the reference number. That is going to pay invoice 1007 in full. Record and new. And lastly, we have $525 payment from Judy. That's going to be a check, and the reference number 4567. And this is our last one. We can record and close. Next, in number 4, we're going to run an accounts receivable aging summary report using all dates as the reporting period. The total accounts receivable balance should be $3,000. All right, so we're going to go to our report center. And in the Who Owes You section, we're going to choose Accounts Receivable Aging Summary. And you can see George Jetson still has an open balance of $3,000. If your report does not match this total, review your invoices and customer payments entered to ensure accuracy, and once the report matches the check figure, you're going to export it as a PDF. So you're going to go to your Export button, Export to PDF, Save as PDF, click on it when it pops up, and then your Download button, and you're going to download it to Chapter 8. You can keep the generic name. Once you have that saved, you can close out. And next in number 5, we're going to run an Open Invoices report using all dates. Go to our Report Center, and this should show $3,000 as well. In the Who Owes You section, select Open Invoices. And again, it's showing invoice number 1006 for George Jetson, where he still owes $3,000. You can go through and save this as a PDF as well. And next in number 6, we're going to run a sales by product service summary report using all dates as the reporting period. I'm going to go to my reports center. And we want sales by product service. And that's going to be in your sales and customer section. So sales by product service summary. Always double check the name because like I said, they are very similar. All dates. The total sales should be $36,125. If your report does not match this total, again, go back and review your invoices and sales receipts. If it's correct, you can go ahead and export that and save it to your Chapter 8 folder. Lastly, we're going to run a sales by property summary report. Again, go back to our report center. And in the sales and customers section, we want sales by property summary, which is located here. We can switch to all dates if needed. The total sales should be $36,125. And your California properties should be $16,050. And your Texas should be $20,075. Definitely make sure that you don't have a third category for unspecified, which will just show as a dash. If you do, you have to go back and update that. All right, if you have the correct totals here, you can go ahead and export this report and save it to your Chapter 8 folder. All right, our next video will be starting with Chapter 9.